different question. I'm going to ask you an intersected question, particularly because you have for a long time not only been out as you work on Capitol Hill, so out about being a black gay man, but also out about being part of the ballroom community. And so I'll ask you the same question, and then I'm going to ask you an intersected question that I'm going to bring a mind in. What is it like to be part of the ballroom community within the larger black gay community? Then the second one will be, what is it like to be part of the black gay community in the larger black community?
To kind of piggyback on what Twiggy and Don had mentioned, there is prejudice from the mainstream black community. They look down on us. One of the challenges is to show in your everyday life that, yes, there are good people in the ballroom community. There are people that are doing great things, positive things, giving back to the community. But you only hear the bad stuff. They hear the stereotypes. And they look down, because a lot of the things that they do see are from a younger group of people. You know, the 16 to 17, they're wild, and that's across the board. Hip hop, everything. That young group, they're young, they got a lot of energy, as we like to say, and excuse the kind of vulgarity of it, young, dumb, and full of cum. Kind of, that's the attitude the young people have, and they're just doing their thing. I mean, that's it. And so when people, other African American gay people that are outside, professional people, they look at that and they say, those are the ghetto ones, those are the trash, they're stealing, escorting, doing drugs, party monsters and stuff like that. It hurts, because you know everybody wasn't like that. Everybody's not doing that. You know, that's what you see in this era of YouTube and video. It's so easy to push that out there because people want to see that. Just like worldwide, you want to see someone get slapped, you want to see the drug use, anything like that. And so you're fighting against that and trying to say, you know, we are doing things, and you know, they're not just waste of time. On the flip side of that, being an out gay person and ballroom, out about the ballroom, at work and in my career, it's hard. You know, because you know, I deal with a lot of, on Capitol Hill, there are a lot of black gay people up there, a lot of, you know, some in our house and other houses that work up there. They're embarrassed. One, they're embarrassed about being gay, because if you're in politics, you're not going to go too far being an openly gay black person. It's just not. If you have career aspirations, it's not. You know, there are many times when I go to events, this past 2 weeks ago, been events where I've seen people, you know, even in my own house, that was like, you know what, okay, give me a hug, don't say too much. Don't call me this right here and that there, because they know I'm gay, and they figure if they associate with me, I have to introduce people as, oh, this is my nephew, or this is my cousin. So I can't say this is my friend, because once I say this is my friend, you know, we're friends, oh, are you dating? Because they know I'm gay. And they don't want that, so it's kind of hard. And then you have some of our white colleagues who look at, you know, the ballroom seems like that's trash, when, you know, one thing they do, and I say this all the time, they watch YouTube. They see those clips. You know, when things happen, I remember a couple instances, and I got on board, oh, this is what you do? This is what happens at those fashion shows? This is what you involve? And I have to be mindful that whatever I do, one can come back because I'm the face right there that they're going to say this right here, and one, it hurts my career. You know, there is a lot of prejudice just about being gay, period. That's just being gay. You just cannot do it out there, you know, and you deal with it. You deal with it and you just keep on pushing. You just keep on pushing on.
And I saw you here. So what we're doing is we'll allow them to talk, but I want you to write it down, because afterwards, the conversation is going to switch to people out here around what they heard, what they saw, what they felt.
But I do want to add one more thing before I that there was something that was mentioned. We talked about this, and Don Juan mentioned it, is the ballroom, we like to say, is extracurricular. I look at it now, and I've said this, and we've had a conversation on Facebook a couple weeks ago. This is a lifestyle thing right here. This is a lifestyle. And people like to say, oh, only what you do on the runway matters. It doesn't. It does not. You know, that truly right now, it's this takes up your life. When I go to sleep and my phone rings and kids call about, you know, I can't get my medicine, or I can't, you know, pay my rent, or you know what, I'm hungry. Right there, that's not a runway issue. As a leader of my house, that's something I have to deal with because they expect that. If you're going to be the leader right here, that's what they expect right there, and that's what they want, and that takes up 90% of the time. That ballroom moment, and I tell everybody there, those who say, "Oh, that ballroom moment is 4 or 5 hours." That's it. And after the trophy's gone, now you got to deal with the real issues that these people have, and they look at you to represent them and mimic you, and they use you as strength to go on, and that's the most important thing right there.